Okay, welcome back to the candidate forum. Appreciate all of you attending and the candidates for participating. We do have the opportunity to take questions from the audience, so if you're interested in submitting a question, please see one of the chamber ladies at the entrance to the auditorium. They'll give you an index card, give you write your question, and then turn them in, and we'll see if we can get to them. I want to remind the candidates that the format is a 2-minute opening statement, then we'll have a series of questions in which you'll have 2 minutes to answer each question, and then a 2-minute closing statement. The chamber folks will be keeping time, so if you go over your 2-minute allotted time, they'll have a great big sign that says stop. So please pay attention to what they are doing so that doesn't happen to you. So, with that, we are back now with the candidates for Post 2. The incumbent is Mr. Mike Peener, and Angie Arp is also a candidate for that position. And if we would, we'd start, Mr. Peener, with your 2-minute opening statement. You can do that at the podium or at the table.
Good evening. My name is Mike Payne. I'm a husband, father, grandfather, and great-grandfather. My wife Susan and I are expecting our 12th grandchild in November. I graduated from Blue Ridge Elementary, West Fayette High School, and the University of Georgia. I'm a veteran of the United States Army and a proud recipient of the Army Accommodation Medal. Since returning to Blue Ridge after the military and college, I formed my firm Southern Financial Consultants, which currently has 7 full-time employees and 400 brokers throughout the Southeast. Our home office is currently located in Blue Ridge and has been in Blue Ridge since 1983. I've witnessed and I believe I have a very good understanding of the changes and growth of Blue Ridge. I have served on multiple boards in Fannin County, a founding member of the Fannin County Recreation Department, in 18 years in the Kiwanis Club, 2-time president, a 10-year board member. I've coached youth sports for over 38 years. Over the last 18 months, I've served on the Blue Ridge City Council. During that period, I have spearheaded the collection of over $300,000 in delinquent tax dollars, reorganized and collected over 90 delinquent business licenses, which resulted in about $50,000 of annual increased revenue, reworked and brought the downtown playground up to state mandated standards, negotiated and refinanced our water and sewer bond debt, which saved the city about $2.57 million, changed our water rates on rental homes from residential to commercial rates for a $35,000 annual increase in revenue, proposed the change and increase in fire protection with a new consolidated city and county agreement, and began the process of formulating a multi-use aquatic and wellness center with the city, county, and the school system. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Arp, your 2-minute opening statement, please.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out, and thank you, Chamber, for hosting this. I'm Angie Harp. I live in the city of Blue Ridge. I've lived in the city of Blue Ridge for almost 50 years. I now have a 1-year-old granddaughter who is a 5th-generation family member that will also grow up in Blue Ridge. Blue Ridge is important to me, and the people that live here are important to me, and the future of Blue Ridge is important to me. For the past 35 years, I have owned and operated multiple businesses, and I'm currently employing 30 to 40 people in various jobs. As a business owner, I have years of experience in managing money and planning for projects. I believe my business knowledge can help get the city on the right track. Over the years, I've spent a lot of time staying involved in city business. I served for 4 years previously on council, and I've continued over the past 4 years to regularly attend city council meetings. I also currently serve on the Fannin County Water Authority, as well as the Blue Ridge Zoning Board. I've gained a great deal of knowledge from serving on these boards, and I've witnessed how effective and productive it can be when boards work together for the common good of the citizens. I'm very knowledgeable about the city and the concerns of the citizens. I will use this knowledge and my business experience to lead the city in the right direction and focus on what is important to the citizens. I will work hard to protect our city, our history, and our charm. I'm a person of integrity, My record reflects that you can trust what I say. I will stand up for what is right. I believe honesty, fairness, integrity, and ethical practices should be the principles that we live by daily. I decided to run for council again because I'm concerned about the citizens and how the current direction of Blue Ridge is going to continue to impact them. I believe the city needs leaders that will remember who they work for and who they represent, the citizens. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, the first question will start with Mr. Painter. The City Council has been criticized for having little decorum or civility toward each other during council meetings. How do you plan to change that perspective?
Well, being an ex-military and working and coaching kids for 38 years, I feel like that, you know, you're supposed to respect each other. You're supposed to respect the people in their position. And we've had issues of not happening exactly correct. And, you know, we've got to work together, not only as the city, but as a county and with the other counties. We faced COVID last year, and a lot of the counties within the state was pulling money out of reserves. The city of Blue Ridge, we were able to stabilize ourselves and become financially strong. We're in a good situation right now. The main thing, we've got to have a good working group together, and I feel like with the right council that the city of Blue Ridge can be the strong point of this county going forward.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Art, would you like me to repeat the question? Okay. The City Council has been criticized for having little decorum or civility toward each other during council meetings. How do you plan to change that perspective?
I think I'll have this planned out. This question for me. I've been involved, and on the previous council, I've been involved in some of the things, same things that's going on now. And I've had people ask me, well, what are you going to do to, you know, for it to be any different? We're tired of arguing, we're tired of fighting. And sitting back 4 years, been at these meetings on the other side, it is frustrating, and I understand now what people were saying when I was on council and this was going on. But the bottom line is, I feel like that if everybody makes the decisions in the best interest of the people that they represent and this city, there won't be division. You know, I feel like that, you know, it's not about who gets to make the final decision and who is going to push that person for that decision. It just should be about what's best for the people in this city. I think elected officials, if they make decisions what's best for the city, it's going to be best for the citizens. You know, what's good for downtown is good for the people. You know, I mean, but it's going to take people coming together and having the right agenda, the right mind. And I just have not seen this. It's been 3 different terms, 3 different council members, and the same problems. So the people's just going to have to decide what they think the problem is, and hopefully whoever gets elected will work for what they should be working for, and that's for the people of the city.
Thank you.
Ms. Hart, you'll have the first opportunity to respond to this question, and it reads as follows. What do you see as the toughest challenge the city of Blue Ridge will face during your term? What do you see as the toughest challenge the city of Blue Ridge will face during your term?
Well, infrastructure is something that's been a problem for years. It was a problem when I was on council. It was a problem for the previous council. It's going to take a lot of money to fix it. We've got galvanized pipes that's corroding from the inside out. We're drinking the water. You know, it's hazardous to our health. We've got terracotta sewer lines that's disintegrating. Sewer's probably running out in the ground. But it's going to take millions and millions to fix it. But somewhere, someone, some group has got to start saving for that and working toward that. 12 years has gone by. I don't know. I mean, maybe, I'm not going to say even when I was on council, work was done toward this stuff, but I just don't think enough emphasis has been put on it and enough money put back and enough planning for it. I think it's probably going to be challenging for after so long, mayor and council not working together. That may be a challenge, but I'm hoping that I can be the person that can bring whoever, if I'm elected to council, I want to try to help. I've seen both sides of it now. I've been on council with people that can't get along, and I've seen people that can't get along. So I want to be the person that can actually maybe bridge the gap. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Painter?
Tough question. I could spend an hour, but I got what, 2 minutes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So I'd say, you know, our biggest challenge is infrastructure, but a lot of people do not really understand the infrastructure. You know, when the city of Blue Ridge went out and took on the water from mountaintops, they didn't realize that it was a 50% leakage problem. And when we took on Dry Branch and some of the other subdivisions, I don't believe the people at the city at the time realized the problems that we would have going forward. You know, one of the things that we did over the past year was collect delinquent taxes. Some of them as long as 7 years old, over 300,000. And we have businesses that had paid business license in 3 or 4 years. We have to collect our money and be financially stable in order to go forward. With infrastructure, our bonds, I helped put that together, and we renegotiated 39-year bonds to 32-year bonds, saved the city $2.57 million and $100,000 just this year. That's the types of things that we have to do. They're tough decisions. Nobody wants to collect taxes, but we have to. We have to have a strong budget. Our budget this year is basically almost identical to the previous budget. And we have to work with the county and the other counties. And, you know, one of the proposals I had earlier this year is to put a fire department together countywide. We need better protection. We need full-time firefighters. And to do that, we have to have a financial budget that's strong. But the city of Blue Ridge, over the last 2 years, I've made sure that we're financially strong, we have money in reserve, and we're ready to take on the challenge and the tough decisions for the infrastructure.
Thank you.
Okay, and Mr. Painter, we'll let you answer this one first. What proposals will you put forward to ensure the success of Blue Ridge in the 21st century? What proposals will you put forward to ensure the success of Blue Ridge in the 21st century?
Well, as I just said, financially first of all. First of all, you got to be financially fit. If you cannot collect your taxes, collect your business license, you're not going to run, you're not going to be in existence going forward. Affordable housing. You know, I'm one of the individuals who voted no, and I want to let everybody know I'm all for affordable housing, but affordable housing has to be correctly done. It has to be the right location. And, you know, there's a lot of difference between the Section 8 affordable housing and, workforce housing and then your traditional affordable housing. And I think the people of Blue Ridge and the people of the county need to know and understand the differences and make sure that the city as well as the county, we make the right decision. We do have a homeless issue right now going on in the city and the county, but it's not a city issue. It's a county and a city issue. And affordable housing, I think, is something that we really need to look at, and I've been looking at it. And one of the proposals right now that I think we need to look at going forward is workforce housing, and that's something where the city could actually bring in a developer, use some current property that we already own that we don't have to purchase, and have some restrictions on how long the people have had to live in the city before they get to live there, sets of limitations, and help the people in this community who need housing do it correctly. We cannot make a mistake. And to me, it's all about location. And, to me, that's the biggest issue we have right there, along with fire protection and being able to understand that this county only has one certain dollar and it's spread among the whole county. We all have to work together to use it.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Arp, would you like me to repeat the question?
Yes, please.
What proposals will you put forward to ensure the success of Blue Ridge in the 21st century?
Well, I think a plan to get infrastructure, to start on the infrastructure, that is very important. I think zoning and a plan for the city that will not allow any more overdevelopment. I think that's going to be very important, especially as, more people move to North Georgia. The city's very small, so 2 by 2 mile squares or 2 by 1 mile square. So you have to have guidelines and things in place to protect that. And I do think that workforce housing is important. The downtown businesses could not survive if they did not have employees. And I've talked to a lot of people, and there isn't places for them to rent that they can afford. So that is a big problem. So I don't know that the city really can do that. We had a developer that, it's my time up. We had a developer that had a plan, and it's a multi-million-dollar plan. It would have been a good thing for the city, or the city people, or people that lives and works in the city. That thing doesn't come up. Something like that doesn't come around every day, and it takes a lot of money to do a development like that and keep it affordable. So it'll take people that does that across the nation or across the state. So hopefully it'll come around again, but I think the workforce, housing, infrastructure, and just some good zoning laws.
Thank you.
Thank you for those responses. It's now time for your closing statements. Ms. Arp, if you will please give us your closing statements. You have 2 minutes to do so. You may do that at the podium or at the table.
Okay, I'm concerned that the decisions being made for Blue Ridge could jeopardize the future of our quaint small town that everyone loves. People want leaders that will listen to their concerns and put their needs first. If elected, I will work on the issues that matter to the people. The continued water and sewer problems, the ongoing parking issues, and the additional traffic from the large downtown developments, the closing of the city pool 3 years ago with no realistic plans of reopening, the lack of full transparency and the failure to follow local and state laws, the focus on growth and overdevelopment rather than solutions for the problems the city is facing. These are things that affect the citizens, and as such, they need to be priority. I've got a lot of years' experience from just the time I served on council and the 4 years that I've just listened and watched what's going on in our city. I'm very knowledgeable on all the laws of the city charter. I'm very knowledgeable. I believe that it'll take a council and mayor that respects the people and respects what they want and is willing to follow guidelines and do what needs to be done. I believe the city, there needs to be honesty, transparency, and fair practices in everything that they do. From bidding out services to anything. Favoritism in government has no place. There's been a lot of things that go on past 4 years that I've seen that is just blatantly wrong. In my eyes as a citizen, it's pure corruption. I believe that supporting housing for the workforce in our community is very important. And I think rather than expanding the city limits and overdeveloping our city, elected officials, sorry. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Painter, your closing statement.
You know, over the past 18 months, I've had the privilege of serving the citizens of Blue Ridge. To be honest, the position and the responsibility a little bit more than I anticipated. The decisions you have to make on a day-to-day basis are not as easy as a lot of people think. We all have our knee-jerk reactions of what we think or what we want, but other issues have to be taken into consideration. First of all, you have to work with a budget. You have ordinances. You have state laws. Personal preferences must come after what is required by law. And I think that's one of the biggest things. You've got to make sure you know what you're doing. Each decision you vote on and make not only affects the citizens of Blue Ridge today, but will impact our children and our grandchildren, the city and the county for the next 20 years. You know, my father served 10 years on the Blue Ridge City Council, and it has been an honor to continue to serve the city residents and follow in his footsteps. As a lifelong resident, community leader, business owner, and a financial consultant, I believe that I am the candidate that is the most qualified to make Blue Ridge a safe, financially sound, and prosperous city. Your vote, November 2nd, we appreciate it. Up to. Thank you.
Thank you. And those are your post 2 candidates for the election in November. So thank you very much. We'll take you a very short break as we bring the post 1 candidates up to the podium, please.